am here with mayoral candidate Marcia Yunker. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Happy to. Happy to see you back in town too and
thank
taking
you.
on this new adventure.
Yeah, thanks.
Best
You too.
wishes.
Thanks. It's exciting.
Yeah.
All right, so can you remind me one more time of the 3 C's of your campaign?
The 3 C's of my campaign are communication, community, and collaboration.
Okay.
And sprinkle it in with transparency to get us started in the right direction and in the right framework for long-term goals and getting things accomplished with a vision for our city.
So you're looking more at long-term kind of thinking, or maybe big picture kind of thinking, as opposed to individual issues.
Definitely a big picture thinker. I think that's important, and it takes strategic planning and goals and a vision to get out.
Yeah.
Sometimes I refer to putting out fires, although I know there will be times when you have to put out fires.
Yeah, you need both styles, I guess, right?
Both styles. I would lean heavily towards the pre-planning to get us through those, and then take the fires as they come, but have a plan, extensive, comprehensive plan to begin with.
Okay. So how can we communicate better? Maybe if we look at what we would say that we're doing now, either just from the city perspective or as a whole community. How are we communicating now that's maybe not sufficient, and what can we do better?
Well, there's always room for improvement.
Sure.
And I always tend to look at things like, is what we're doing working? And some of the things we are doing that are working, but what can we do above and beyond to encompass the younger generation, middle, and the older generation? You know, and people will talk about the Galion Inquirer or our newspapers, and online businesses and companies are started, but there are still people, my mom, for example, who reads the newspaper. So I think we just have to branch out, and all kinds of communication, newspaper, online, up to date, social media, and the most important thing of all the communication, I think, is to be proactive, clear and concise. When we put something out there that's not clear and concise or not proactive, I think it allows for people, myself included, not just in city, but we tend to create our own examples of what we think might be.
Yeah, people
going
kind of
on.
run every different direction.
Yes. So it needs to be clear. I would like to do a Mayor on the Move, where I'm going out to different places, perhaps at a mother's club, or somebody says, hey, we meet for breakfast at one of the breakfast places. Can we talk to you? You know, I'd like to schedule those, but I believe it's important to get out and hear what the people have to say. And that's probably the biggest thing I've learned in this last year, is getting out to the people and listening.
Yeah. That's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, is with technology, how different generations, let's say, are kind of living in different worlds, and they don't even sometimes know how to communicate with each other. It's almost like they speak different languages, and to kind of push back against all of that you're kind of working against like decades of way things have been going, not just in Galion, but everywhere.
Yes.
And so it takes big picture thinking. It takes kind of like an innovative approach to finding a way to bring everyone together.
Absolutely. Innovative, creative, and you know, they always want to talk about kids and their, not toys, but their technology. Well, the same thing is really happening to adults. And but you know, one of the things I thought, okay, we are a lot of on the move and taking kids places, and we're going places. Let's get an app for Galion that you can boom, pull it up on your phone, get accurate information, get timely information. And one of the things I really am interested in is starting a young adult advisory board. And I think it's really important because they're our future. Down there at the school, you know, these are people who are going to, at one point in time, be the leaders of our community. And no matter what their age, I mean, if you asked a 6-year-old, what could you do for our community? They're going to come up with an answer. It would be a 6-year-old answer, but if we start with the 6-year-olds and keep, for example, and keep moving throughout high school, and we can work middle school, we can work with student councils. And I'd like to have a young adult group sit right in and work together with our city council.
Yeah.
And sorry, I got off, but I
No, I think
think it was on young people, I guess. Or,
yeah. Well, when you first said that youth advisor, I was thinking maybe the youth could advise some too, because I think maybe an obstacle that we have to getting young people more involved is they don't. I guess when I was growing up, I didn't necessarily feel like that was something that I could even do, or that world was even for me.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And so we always talk in like, how can we get young people more involved? How can we get young people to understand the importance of government? But there's also another side of it, which is like getting older people to understand where the young people are coming from, why they might feel left out. Maybe they're not just uninformed. Maybe they have other reasons that they don't feel like the city, like what's going on with Galion in general, really concerns them.
And that's a great point. And people talk about ageism, and it's from both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, if I were to say one word, it has to be teamwork, and we already alluded to collaboration. And it's amazing. I've already been working or starting to speak with younger adults, and it's amazing the ideas that they have that we just have to accept. And that goes across the whole board, from both young to old. It's all about listening to each other and compromising and accepting.
Yeah.
So
you got a lot of good input from younger people?
Yes. And the people I've talked to are maybe in their young to mid-20s.
Okay.
And you can tell the interest that they have, which is great, you know, and who knows who I haven't spoken to yet that could be interested. And that's where I think you utilize the sources of these younger people to talk to their friends and other people. And I'm big on solution-focused thinking. How can we fix this? How can we make it better? It's, you know, if there's a project that they see, to brainstorm within their own community, so to speak, and bring it forward.
I like that. It makes me think that, because I mentioned earlier that a lot of these problems, because this topic of conversation has come up with like all the interviews I've done so far. Maybe it's just because I'm bringing it up, but it's on my mind a lot, and I think that, like I said, it's something that's not just in Galion, it's kind of everywhere. It's kind of like the way that technology has progressed society so that people are in these different worlds a little bit. And to try and come up with a solution for that, if the problem is something that's kind of top down coming from, you know, forces beyond Galion, the solution seems like it actually has to be local. Do you know of any, I don't, but do you know of any maybe other cities or towns or even just organizations that have implemented solutions to this that we could maybe just take ideas from?
No, I don't know, but that's definitely something to research, and I for sure want to work with the schools
Yeah.
who are a good resource, and they're beginning something called authentic learning, which is putting kids in places where they are authentic learning. So that would fit right into with the city or the parks or any entities.
Does that mean like outside of school?
Or not just, for sure, but not just a paper and pencil.
I see. Okay.
And you are launching out.
Yeah.
We used to do some of that stuff at the middle school, the political convention, things that were, you could learn by doing.
Yeah.
Or getting, so similar to that. So I'm excited to work with the schools on that. I've been working with one of the teachers who went to a workshop on authentic learning. And one of the things that they're talking about are celebrations. And I guess that could be a fourth C of mine, celebrations, because as we go through town, look around town, we need to be celebrating the good things. Sometimes I think too often the negative things rise to the top, and rightly so, we have to deal with, but we also have celebrations that when people come to the parks or come through town, something is happening, there's excitement. There are kids or people uptown or kids working, not just to use kids to help an older person rake a yard,
Right.
I mean, that's part of it, but the whole big picture is much more than that. And
Yeah, I think some of it comes down to the other way too, with older people wanting or giving them more opportunities to help kids out, but not necessarily school age kids, but even younger people. I've been talking a little bit about like what would it take to start a business in Galion, like what kind of resources are there for people. There's all kinds of resources, but people don't really know much about them or know how to access them or anything like that. So you don't even really think about that as an opportunity when you're young.
And we have to. And that's again where collaboration comes into effect with all of the different organizations that are already up and running. The Chamber of Commerce, the Community Partnership, different organizations here in town. Our Kiwanis Club, I think we're down to one club, the Kiwanis Club, who do a fabulous job and work for the kids. Excuse me. But starting a business, I mean, those are things that I call them study skills or whatever, to utilize people in our community. To maybe it's somebody who is good at woodworking.
Yeah.
Maybe they offer, hey, I'll be at the park from 4 to 6 if you want to learn how to make a bench. Or somebody in your profession or business, do you want to learn how to conduct an interview or something like that. I just think there are so many, if we tap into what we already have. I'm not saying don't launch out into new things, but tap into what we have in our community.
Because what don't we have? We have everything, really. It's just we're not used to thinking that way. I've been hearing a lot of, when people talk about like economic development, they talk a lot about bringing businesses into Galion from outside of Galion. And that's fine, that's good, but I would say really your number one thing you want to do is to develop what you have in Galion and give people that chance to really feel like they could try and maybe fail and maybe try again, or just work together and find ways to collaborate and come up with something on our own, so to speak, or together.
Yes, and I do believe in economic development, but we need to keep what we have too. We have entrepreneurs, we have people uptown, we have people who are doing online businesses, and I believe also we as community members need to support those people. And again, why can't we? We have business owners right here in town. You interested in starting a business or on career day at the schools? Or I just think the more opportunities we give people to communicate with people what options they have.
Yeah. When I was a kid, or when I was in school, the kind of track that they would put people on was that you want to do good in school, then you want to go to college, and then you want to find a job wherever the job is and make money, do whatever. But I think that I was 2008 when I graduated. In the last 20 years or so, that's changed a lot for a lot of people. A lot of people don't look at college the same way anymore as this surefire thing. It's not as sure anymore. It's more expensive, and I think we have that kind of leaves us with a lot of question marks, but in that is opportunity to maybe take advantage of what that question mark represents for younger people and see what we can do here.
Yep. And we are very fortunate to have numerous scholarships here in town, but as we all know, that's not for everybody.
Certainly.
And you have to find your own niche, explore your own. I mean, I'm a perfect example. I went in the military. I wasn't sure. I didn't know. I figured it out.
Yeah.
But I feel fortunate. And I think that's what we are as elected officials. We are public servants. It's our responsibility to help. I mean, there's 10,000 people in our town. That's a lot of work for 7 councilmen and a mayor and a law director, etc. But we have to do what we can to get our kids, our people, our adults. We have adults who would benefit from other adults.
Yeah, I think there's people all over, like everywhere, really everyone that is in some way or another like ready for an opportunity that they don't know is there.
And I love that word, opportunity.
It's not always what you expect it to be.
No, it's not, but it can also become more than what you thought it could, or exactly. One could.
Yeah.
But.
So campaigning, what has surprised? This is your first mayoral campaign?
This is my first any kind of campaign.
So that's been probably pretty interesting. Anything that's surprised you in particular, meeting people and talking to people? That's
been the best part, talking to people. There have been a lot of things that have surprised me.
Yeah.
And, I keep true to my core beliefs and my core values. And that's how I came in thinking. And that's how I'll go out thinking, hopefully in the right way. But yes, although I believed in those 3 or 4 C's, this has helped me to see how important they are. And yes, it's different.
Yeah.
It's definitely been a learning experience. And of course, I'm all about learning. I think we're learning through our whole lives. And we make mistakes, we misstep, and that's okay. We learn from that and we go on and we don't make the same mistake again. So I'd say it's a learning experience. I've enjoyed talking with the people. I don't like mudslinging or all the typical political kinds of things, probably because I'm not a politician. And but I'm looking forward to what comes. There's going to be a big election in 1 week, a week from today, And the exciting part, one of the exciting parts, is seeing how excited our community is, or showing interest in this election.
It seems like more than usual to me.
It does to me too, yes.
I think that might have to do with just things going on everywhere.
Yes,
You know, it's kind of a period of change, I guess, at like the U.S. level, global level even.
sure. And this, at the local level, there's no better place to make to have an impact, to make an impact, but with your local government. So.
Okay, great. Any last words or a final pitch to vote for you?
Well, of course, I respectfully request your vote, and know that I will give it my best, and I will work my hardest, and I will be working for you, the people. And I did want to talk a little bit about strategic planning.
Go ahead.
Which I feel that is the place where we start. And it's also it's also a huge collaborative process. And, some people would say, well, we don't have time. We have this, and this to do. We got to get started right away. And my thinking is we don't have the time not to do this.
Yeah.
We must look ahead. We must look at our budget. We must evaluate what's coming down the road. We must set our vision, our goals, and most importantly, take action to reach those goals. Go ahead.
Well, what would be like a good first step if you want to say we're going to do strategic planning? Are you talking about like within the administration or with the public?
Well, the first thing is whoever the new administration is going to need to work together, become knowledgeable, get to know who's doing what and what's happening there. That requires definitely its own collaboration, working with all of the elected officials, the department heads, the employees.
How many people are we talking about?
I think we're right around 100 employees, somewhere around that.
That includes like police and fire and everything.
Yes, I believe that's everything on the payroll, but don't hold me to that.
I don't know either.
It'll be close.
You know better than me.
So anyway, and then it would branch out to, we need community input. We need, I could make plans and tell you I'm going to do this, 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 and this. Or this is my vision. But is my vision the same as your vision? Or this group's vision? I think that's something that we have to come to together. And it's not easy. I mean, it takes work, it takes compromise, it takes coming to a consensus. But in the big picture, in the long run, where is it that we want to be in our town? And I think everybody can agree we always want to be better, no matter where we are. We can always improve. So I'm ready for the challenge.
All right, sounds good.
So
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Good luck to you too.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
Scott.
I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it.